Saludos a todos. Soy Miguel Uribe.
This is Colombian Senator Miguel Uribe Turbay announcing that he wanted to become his country's next president. He chose the spot to do it with care. It was here that his mother, the journalist Diana Turbay, was kidnapped by Pablo Escobar's Medellin cartel. She was shot and killed in 1991 during a mission to save her. Uribe wasn't even 5 years old when it happened. Within months of announcing his presidential candidacy for the right-wing Democratic Center Party, he too was murdered during a campaign rally in the capital, Bogotá. He was in hospital for 2 months before he died, another statistic in the tragic history of Colombia. The decades of conflict, fueled and funded by cocaine trafficking, have left nearly 500,000 people dead. A peace deal signed in 2016 was supposed to end all of that. So what's gone wrong? And why is the International Committee of the Red Cross warning that in humanitarian terms, 2025 could become the worst year of the past decade for people living in Colombia? I'm Cyril Vanier, and this is Pinch Point, where politics and geography collide. Uribe's death appalled Colombia. The kidnapping and murder of politicians here used to be almost commonplace, but that was decades ago. Colombia's government had been fighting a Marxist armed group since the 1960s. They were called the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia. We know them as FARC. The FARC waged an effective campaign funded by illegal mining, extortion, kidnapping, and cocaine production and smuggling. But by the early 2010s, senior FARC figures were keen to negotiate a peace. After a few false starts, that was signed in the Cuban capital, Havana. Trouble is, right-wing paramilitaries and drug cartels never left the scene. And on top of that, some FARC members decided to fight on. Colombia's left-leaning president, Gustavo Petro, accused a global drug trafficking ring of Uribe's killing, although the actual shots were fired by a 15-year-old boy who was thought to be a hired killer. There have been other arrests as well. But as of August, the authorities hadn't said what they thought the motive was. Where there's crime in Colombia, it seems that drugs, in particular cocaine, are never far away.
Como nuestra familia, millones de compatriotas tendremos que cargar con este profundo dolor por el resto de nuestras vidas. Esta guerra tiene culpables y responsables. Lo sabemos. No tenemos ninguna duda de dónde viene la violencia. No tenemos duda de quién la promueve. No tenemos duda quién la permite. Tenemos que plantar cara a esto y decir no más, no más. No más.
But the violence is getting worse. In August, bombers targeted vehicles near a military aviation school in Colombia's third largest city, Cali. Hours earlier, a National Police Black Hawk helicopter taking part in a coca leaf eradication operation was shot down in another part of the country. And you're looking at the funeral for the pilot. Those attacks alone, and there have been many more, killed at least 18 people and injured more than 70 others. This time, President Petro accused dissident factions of the FARC. They also fund their armed struggle with drugs. Petro says legalizing cocaine around the world is the answer to ending the drug trade in Colombia.
La cocaína es ilegal porque la hacen en América Latina, no porque sea más mala que el whisky. Eso los científicos analizan. Si uno quiere la paz, es a desmantelar el negocio, ¿cierto?
As it is, the cocaine business continues to boom. The United Nations reckons potential cocaine production increased by 53% in 2023. The 2016 peace deal included development and land redistribution programs. The UN says that they have yet to be fully implemented. That, say people in the coca-growing regions, is an understatement, as the government struggles to defeat armed groups.
Hasta el momento, nada, no ha habido ningún tipo de inversión social por parte del gobierno. Como ustedes pueden ver, todo lo que tenemos acá es gracias al esfuerzo y al sudor de nuestros campesinos, que en un trabajo mancomunado se logran todo lo que hoy en día tenemos. Gracias a Dios.
And the problem could even get worse. Colombia says funding from the US has been hit by the dismantling of USAID, and now it says another $100 million of programs could be at risk after US President Donald Trump declared Colombia hasn't done enough to get on top of the drug industry. Colombia has received about $14 billion in the last 25 years alone as part of the continuing US war on drugs. It's all likely to turn the screw further on the country's deteriorating finances. The geography of Colombia means it's very easy to grow coca here. A cash crisis and policy changes are stalling any efforts to grow anything else or stop the violence. Colombia is due to vote in its next president in May 2026. And while Miguel Uribe Turbey's name will clearly not be on the ballot, his murder may yet shape the result. His father has decided to throw his hat in the ring. He shares his son's right-wing policies, including going in hard on security. The outgoing president, Petro, ran for office in 2022 in part on a policy of what he called total peace. It was always going to be a tough task. A recent internal security report suggests armed groups in Colombia have added thousands of members and expanded their territorial control under his watch. Petro's successor will want to do better, but in the land where cocaine is king, it's not going to be easy.